The Chief Rabbi of Kyiv, Moshe Reuven Azman, recently offered insight into why some Americans, particularly supporters of former President Donald Trump, harbor skepticism toward Ukraine. In an interview with RBC-Ukraine, Rabbi Azman emphasized that this sentiment is less about sympathy for Russia and more rooted in the political climate within the United States. Addressing the issue of growing anti-Ukrainian views among certain segments of the U.S. public, especially among Republicans, Rabbi Azman urged people to consider the issue from the perspective of Trump supporters. Try to understand the mindset of someone in that position, he said. Imagine you're a Trump voter. You've never had a problem with Ukraine itself. But then there's ongoing conflict with the Democrats, impeachment proceedings tied to Ukraine, and negative coverage in mainstream media. Everything seems to revolve around Ukraine. According to Rabbi Azman, this environment can lead Trump supporters to view Ukraine not as a neutral party, but as a focal point in their political struggle. For them, he explained, Ukraine may appear to be associated with efforts to undermine Trump, even if the country itself is not directly responsible. Imagine your father, Trump in this case, is facing legal and political pressure that somehow involves Ukraine, Azman said. That creates the impression that Ukraine is aligned with the Democratic Party, and that association can influence voter perception. Rabbi Azman was clear, however, that this skepticism should not be confused with support for Russia. He pointed out that many Republicans remain deeply critical of Russia due to its ties to the legacy of the Soviet Union. It's not about being pro-Russian, he noted. Ronald Reagan, a Republican icon, played a key role in ending the Soviet Union. Russia now positions itself as the Soviet Union's heir, which makes it difficult for traditional conservatives to support it. In short, Rabbi Azman suggested that Ukraine has become entangled in American partisan politics, which contributes to mistrust among Trump-aligned voters, though this does not necessarily reflect their stance on the broader geopolitical conflict.